Knee pain while running? Here's what you need to know about runner's knee or patellofemoral pain syndrome. And let's just bust this myth out of the gates. Running is not bad for your knees, and no, you don't need to stop running with knee pain. In fact, regular running strengthens your joints and actually protects against the development of arthritis later in life. And if you have been tired of that nagging, achy pain that you get in the front of your knee every time you go for a run or you go upstairs after a run, you're not alone. 8 out of every 10 runners listening to this right now will get injured. And the most common reason people stop running because of an injury is because of runner's knee. And as a running physical therapist and coach, I felt this same pain when I started out as an adult onset runner at age 31, and was the reason why I literally wrote the book on patellofemoral pain syndrome for my dissertation while achieving my terminal academic PhD degree. Since then, I've gone on to run pain-free, but more importantly, I've worked with hundreds of runners who are struggling with pain and stiffness in the front of their knees, going on to run pain-free, be able to run their first half marathon, their fastest marathon time without worrying about knee pain. So if you've tuned in today to learn what medication or brace you should wear while running, or how long you should take off of running to let this injury heal, this is not the video for you. Sorry. Thanks for tuning in, but you're going to want to go somewhere else. Go see your local family doctor or your non-running physical therapist. They will tell you literally take 4 to 6 weeks off of running, ice your knee, take some anti-inflammatory medication, and or go to PT. All right. If you are still here, welcome. Thanks for being here. In today's training, we're uncovering the truth about patellofemoral pain syndrome, what it is, why it happens, and how you can get back to running pain-free. Stick around because this could change the way that you approach your runs forever. I'm going to reveal the top causes and the truth about knee pain in runners and what you should really know about taking up running as an adult. It's an amazing sport, and I've brought me so many benefits, and I wanted to bring the same to you. We will uncover what is runner's knee. How do you know if you have runner's knee? Why do runners get patellofemoral pain syndrome? Essentially looking at what are the causes of runner's knee. And then I'm going to actually go on to share with you 2 reasons why you're not getting better with runner's knee. These are very common things that I see, and I want them to help you. Avoiding these 2 mistakes in recovery will allow you to fix your knee pain for good. And the best part is you won't even have to stop running in order to properly heal this condition. So you can actually continue getting in mental clearing miles and put your knee pain in the rear view mirror, getting back to becoming a runner. And yes, you can become a runner, even if you're in your 30s, 40s, or 50s. And if you stick around long enough for this training, I'm going to actually share with you 3 powerful ways to turn off knee pain while running. These are 3 actionable things you can actually do during a run. So if you're feeling achy knee pain along the inside or the front of your knee that worsens with running uphill, stairs, squatting, or sitting for long periods of time, and you've tried icing, resting, you've stopped running, and you've tried a knee brace, but you're frustrated that your pain keeps coming back whenever you try to run faster or build back those long runs again, this is for you. First, I want to share a story of a real runner like you who had this condition and is proof that you don't need to actually have to stop running in order to heal by sharing Miranda's story. It will help you identify if you actually have this condition as well. So Miranda was a 44-year-old at the time pediatrician who rediscovered running in her 40s after a 20-year hiatus. which was a mental health lifesaver with being a busy working mom. She was struggling with reoccurring patellofemoral pain syndrome that she ignored at times with running, but was consistently exacerbated by activities that her family liked to do, such as skiing or playing tennis, and it was interfering with her running. When we connected, she actually just stopped running because she was so frustrated. She didn't run for 3 months due to the pain. She Googled podcasts for knee pain and found the Healthy Runner podcast, which was ironic because she actually lives in the neighboring town to me here in Connecticut. So when we met, I was able to assess her strengths and weaknesses and provided her with a strength plan that helped her get back on her feet, running consistently again. And while working together, she especially loved the accountability to be able to keep her on track with her run plan. And she started finally embracing slowing down during her easy runs. And by the end of the 16-week program, she was able to run a half marathon, not only injury free, but even got a personal best for her half marathon time. Since then, Miranda has continued to get guidance from the amazing Coach Lou on our team and has now grown in her running journey tremendously, hitting multiple half marathon PRs for a year straight. And then she recently conquered her first marathon at the California International Marathon and actually getting a Boston qualifying time plus a 5-minute buffer with the new updated standards, which, by the way, is not expected or normal results, right, for your first marathon. The reason I share Miranda's story with you now is I want you to have hope that you can become a newer runner like Miranda was picking it up in her 40s and get over patellofemoral pain syndrome and grow in your running journey to hit whatever running goal you have, whether it is to run your first 5K, your first half marathon, or like in Miranda's case, challenge yourself, crush your first marathon with a BQ. It can be done with the tips I'm going to share with you today. If this is our first introduction, first off, welcome. I'm Dr. Duane Scotti. I'm a running physical therapist, coach, educator, founder of Spark Healthy Runner, creator of the Healthy Runner podcast, and my mission is to preserve the health and longevity of the running community by allowing you to get stronger, run faster, and enjoy lifelong injury-free running. So let's get into today's topic. What is runner's knee? So patellofemoral pain syndrome is the most common overuse injury in runners, I mentioned that earlier, that causes pain in your knee. And it's usually in the front of the knee or described behind the kneecap or the patella. And this is most commonly affecting our 20 to 30-year-old runners, but I've seen 40-year-olds, like in Miranda's case, right? And 50-year-olds with this condition as well. So I want to kind of show you on the model here and point out some structures just so you kind of know what we're talking about here. And it's important to know once we get down to actually the root causes. So your quad muscles are located here. There's 4 muscles. That's why they're called quad, right? Your quad muscles come down the front of your leg and they attach to your quadricep tendon. And that tendon connects to the kneecap or the patella, and the patella connects via the patellar tendon in the front here to your tibia or your shin bone. And patellofemoral pain syndrome is simply an irritation of the cartilage that's underneath the patella. So if we took this kneecap and flipped it upside down, there's articular cartilage underneath the kneecap. And that articular cartilage is getting irritated with the cartilage on the bone underneath it, your thigh bone, so your femur. And it's really an irritation due to maltracking of that kneecap. So the kneecap gets kind of misaligned, we'll say, and there's multiple reasons why it could happen. And the cartilage just simply gets irritated. And that is what's causing the pain that you have. All right, so how do you know if you actually have runner's knee? What are the symptoms? Runner's knee is a very common injury, and there are some specific symptoms associated with this actual injury. And the symptoms that are really included is pain. Usually it's described as an achy pain on either the inside of the knee, this is a left knee, or generalized over the kneecap, like the front of the knee area. And this pain is always classically reproduced or increases with going up or downstairs, squatting, kneeling, or getting up from like a low surface, like if you're sitting on the couch or the sofa, getting up out of that surface, or if you have like a low rider car and you're going to get out of the car, it's like, oh, there's my knee. The other sign that's very common is pain with prolonged sitting. So those of you who are sitting at a desk job where your knee is bent at that 90-degree angle all day and you go to get up, then it can be painful. Pain with running or after a run, especially for a hilly run. So some of my athletes, like they go outside their house, everything is elevation, there's hills, right? So especially in a hilly run. You can also feel like cracking or popping in the knee when you're standing. And by the way, that's okay. Like that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your knee. So why do runners get patellofemoral pain syndrome? Or what are the causes? And this really happens due to essentially training errors. Doing too much too soon, and your body is not ready to tolerate the demands placed on it, which results in irritation of the cartilage behind your patella or your kneecap. So essentially, the patella is not tracking properly within the groove. Now, this can be due to three reasons. The analogy I like to use is like a train on a track. So the train is the patella, the kneecap. The track are the long bones underneath it, the femur and the tibia. And as we said, the cartilage gets irritated when the tracking is not proper. And the influences to the patella itself, so the train, locally, are really related to the structures that attach directly to your kneecap, which can cause this kneecap to be tilted outside or laterally. And that is weakness of your quads, or if you have tightness in the quad muscle, decreased muscle length. You have hypermobility of your patella. Maybe your ligaments are loose. Or if you have tightness of your IT band or tightness of your hamstrings. The second cause are influences below the patella. And we call these the distal influences. And specifically, excessive foot pronation is going to lead to your shin rolling inward and your knee going inward. We call that valgus. And the patella goes outward. And this can be due to faulty foot posture. And it could just be like how you were born if you're a really flat foot. Or it could be due to weakness in your lower shin muscles or your deep foot muscles. And then the most common thing I say in runners is influences above the kneecap, which are our proximal influences. And this controls your femur bone. And when there's weakness of your outside hip muscles, specifically your glute muscles, the glute max, the glute medius, and your deep hip rotator muscles, like your piriformis back here, this causes your femur to rotate in, the knee go in, the kneecap go out, irritates the cartilage. So those are the causes. And you might be wondering, like, okay, I have this pain for a while. What are the reasons why your pain's not getting better? There's really two main reasons. You're either trying quick fixes or misguided treatments, such as braces, taping, icing your knee after your runs, or being attracted to misguided treatments that focus too much on hands-on treatment like massage, dry needling, as opposed to a sensible, active approach I have outlined in my ultimate free guide to running healthy without knee pain. This online mini book is written specifically for you, the runner, to help you bounce back from the most common source of knee pain in runners and to prevent it from coming back again. You will learn these specific tactics to run faster, further, and without knee pain as a runner. These have been the tried, true, and tested strategies, all backed up by the literature and the research that I've studied for 3 straight years writing this dissertation. And they've kept all the runners that I've worked with on a one-on-one basis running during their recovery. And then finally saying, like, peace out to runner's knee for good, so you don't have to rely on quick fixes or misguided treatments. So you can grab your free download ebook by clicking the link that I have for you in the description below, or simply go to learn.sparkhealthyrunner.com/runner's knee. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is the second reason why your pain is not getting better. And it really relates to You didn't modify your activity level enough. You stopped running and then you try to maybe run like a mile less. Utilizing a run walk strategy can be extremely effective. And I outline this in my return to run blueprint, which really takes you through a proper progression. And it's kind of like the signature return to run program that I've created and I've utilized with the clients that I work with. And it gives you the structure of exactly how much, how often, what's the proper run walk progressions to allow your body to safely adapt to the demands of running without any setbacks. And I actually have a full printed out calendar telling you exactly like what to do each day of the week for the first 6 weeks. So that is a download you can also get by just going to learn.sparkhealthyrunner.com/return to run. So now I am curious. I want to know which of these two reasons that I outlined for you is why you haven't gotten better so far. Are you doing too much too soon, or are you like focusing on those misguided treatments? Like, no judgment zone here. Like, you're here to learn. So thank you for being here. I respect that. If you can please, like, let me know in the comments, because I would love to be able to create future content specifically for what like you're going through right now. And I do read all of my comments. So thank you in advance for like filling me in on what you're going through. Next, I am going to share with you 3 powerful ways to turn off knee pain while running. But before I do that, if you are getting value from this and enjoying this information about runner's knee, I would greatly appreciate if you can just hit that like button so I can continue creating free content like this so you can maintain a strong mind, a strong body, and just keep running. Also, if you're loving this content, then you will certainly love that ultimate free guide to start running healthy without knee pain that I mentioned before, where you get to learn the specific strategies and the treatment for patellofemoral pain syndrome. And the best thing is that you're going to be able to implement these strategies, and then you're going to be able to run without having to worry about knee pain coming back again. So just click the link that I have for you down in the description. And as we get into the 3 powerful ways to turn off knee pain while running, these are like magic, honestly. So I really want you to give these a try. Number 1 is prevent leading with your foot, or what we call overstriding. When we do this, there are a ton of braking forces that go from your heel when you're overstriding up through your shin to your knee. And this is the most common reason why runners struggle with runner's knee or patellofemoral pain syndrome to begin with. Think of what I want you to think about when you're running is knee drive, leading with your knee or landing with your foot under your knee when it hits the ground. The second thing that's going to be helpful is focusing on the glutes when you're running up a hill. Think of driving up the hill with each and every step, squeezing your butt. And then the third thing is I want you to focus on increasing your turnover time or your cadence, especially when running downhill. When we're running downhill, we tend to put the brakes on a little bit more to slow ourselves down so we won't get too out of control. Try to focus on actually increasing your cadence and your turnover time of your legs. And by doing that, there's going to be less forces braking going from your heel up your shin to your knee that's kind of causing that knee pain that you're getting when running down hills. So just increase that, focus on your form, stay nice and relaxed, good arm swing, good rotation, focus on that form, and keep those legs turning over. Give them a try. And I would love for you to let me know, honestly, if you've tried any of those 3 strategies and you notice like, wow, that's totally like alleviated my knee pain. Like, I would love for you to come back to this and like, let me know, because I would just love to hear from you if you found that super helpful. Implementing these 3 powerful ways to turn off knee pain while running has been a game changer for the athletes who have overcome runner's knee and got back to pain-free running, doing what they love. Like Danielle, who was in her 40s. She was, I believe, 44 when we first met. No, sorry, a little bit a little bit more wiser at 47 years old when we started working together. She started running 4 years prior using her Peloton treadmill. She was consistent with her treadmill running, but struggled when she started running outside. She had to stop 2 training cycles now due to runner's knee. She was a radiologist herself and quite bright. So she started immersing herself in like running education and soon realized that the consistent strength training on the Peloton app she was doing was not supporting her running. This is how we got connected, and she was looking to build up for her first half marathon. And then she wanted to do a marathon and wanted run specific strength training that would help keep her knees healthy. And she liked the idea of having myself as a PT providing the guidance. If her knee started to act up, then we can be proactive and address it right away. While working together, Danielle was not only able to run her first half marathon without knee issues, but then went on to conquer her first marathon in San Diego, overcoming her chronic knee pain. Or I think of Jesse, who is an officer in the military, bright guy, very well developed muscular body from being an athlete his whole life, played football, was a sprinter. However, he was really struggling for a 10-year period at age 30 with like this negative mindset of with running because of the knee pain he was having. And he really wasn't happy with his fitness, where his body was, because of like struggling with his knee pain for 10 years. And it really discouraged him from running any long distances and reaching his full potential as like an adult athlete. And on my first call with Jesse, I answered all the questions he had about running, fitness, nutrition. The workouts that I gave him were easy to complete as I adjusted them for his busy work calendar and schedule. And I assured him that if he stuck with the program, his knee pain would feel better. And it did. After completing the program, his knee felt amazing. And the best part about it now is that he has a positive mindset about running and his fitness goals as an adult. And I'm happy to report that once he graduated from the program, he actually continued to progress in his running journey. And he continues to let me know his progress. He ran his first half marathon, and then recently he actually ran his first marathon. And this is someone who couldn't run literally like 2 miles without knee pain. So I'm just so happy that he was able to do all of that, but based upon the 16 weeks of us working together. Or I think of runners like Becca, who is she's a young professional in her 20s. She lives in Florida and also plays softball and was training for the New York City Marathon, and she kept getting injured. She had actually a flare up of terrible runner's knee pain at mile 15 of the New York City Marathon and had to walk the last 10 miles of the race. Like, tell me, like, that's got to suck, right? And she loved running, but she just kept getting injured. And she reached out on getting some guidance. Becca not only got rid of her knee pain for good, but then went on to PR in the Berlin Marathon, working with Coach Lou on our team. And then she crushed the Disney Marathon, hitting her sub 4 hour goal, in which I finally got to meet Becca in person because I did that marathon as well. And she has continued to improve in her running journey. She ran the Chicago Marathon and then most recently just ran Disney again. So I just love that we were able to not only like provide her the proper pathway for the short-term solution of knee pain, but allow her to enjoy years of injury-free running, continuing to grow in her running journey. And I have no doubt that she will be hitting her Boston qualifying goal soon enough. Or I think about Joe. Joe is a professional who works in New York City, and he was really struggling with constant knee pain. He's 27 years old, and any time that he really attempted to actually become an endurance runner, he would get knee pain. And Joe's fiance is actually an outpatient physical therapist, and she was able to provide him with some like initial guidance in pain relief. But every time he like would hit a roadblock when he would start training again, and he just wasn't able to run. And Joe had some big goals. He was already signed up for his first marathon at Marine Corps, and he knew that he needed more guidance with his training and specific exercises to get rid of the knee pain, and was listening to the Healthy Runner podcast and decided to reach out to me. And Joe was scared that the knee injury would get worse. And he just wanted to make sure that, like, him continuing to train for this marathon, he wouldn't injure it more. And he wanted to know, like, what to do to correct the strength deficits. And he wanted a long-term sustainable running plan to allow him to finish his first marathon. And in the short time that we were working together, like the expertise, analysis, the motivation that I was able to provide for Joe, he was pain-free in a few weeks into the training cycle and never looked back. And Joe was able to complete his first marathon pain-free in DC. And I'm just like so proud of him. He was like student of the game. He listened to everything. And this was like a fast track, timeline here that we had to get rid of the knee pain and get back to marathon training. Or I think of Laura, who is a 44-year-old stay-at-home mom, started running 6 months prior to connecting with me in order to lose some weight. And she was 4 weeks away from her very first half marathon and was in so much knee pain due to overtraining. She reached out for me for guidance and how she can not only get to the start line to run the half marathon, but more importantly, be able to run for many years to come. And while working together, Laura learned to run more efficiently. She gained the knowledge of specific strength exercises to get her body stronger so she can run pain-free, not only for the half marathon, but continue lifelong injury-free running. These are just 5 examples from the hundreds and hundreds of runners who have implemented this kind of SPARK method of overcoming runner's knee to grow as a runner. My name is Dr. Duane Scotti, and my mission is to help 10,000 motivated and driven people grow in their running journey by challenging themselves, doing what they love, and making an impact in this world through the power of running. I'm the founder of Spark Healthy Runner, and if you would like to get clarity, focus, fast track your recovery if you're struggling with runner's knee, just like Danielle, Jesse, Becca, Joe, or Laura got, that's exactly what we do within our high touch point 101 Spark Healthy Runner coaching program, where I'm your running physical therapist and coach all in one. Or you can actually get daily guidance from one of the amazing coaches on our team. And I serve as your running physical therapist, health consultant, guiding the process. You can learn more about our Spark Healthy Runner signature coaching program by going to learn.sparkhealthyrunner.com/coaching. And you can schedule a call with me and we will see if you are a good fit for the program. It's been great sharing this truth about runner's knee with you today and why you don't need to stop running. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next video to help you get strong, run faster, and enjoy lifelong injury-free running. And this training was all about describing why your knee hurts when you run. If you want to take away the guesswork on how to fix it and prevent it from ever coming back again, that's exactly what we do with our one-on-one coaching program. And as I mentioned earlier, a big part about getting over runner's knee is actually learning how to strengthen the right muscles. And strength training is a huge part of the strategy in overcoming runner's knee. So now you can learn how to master my top 7 strength exercises for runners who have runner's knee, all within a 25-minute workout video that I have for you next.